Ain't nothing to it but to do it. So let's see where we're at right now. And okay, it looks like we are up and running. Let me check. All right, sounds like my sound volume's also pretty good. That is excellent. Let's drop that down to insignificant and copy this. So hey, my name's Phil Kearney. I create role-playing games. I illustrate them and I publish them online. And I've been running D&D for like 35 years at this point. And I've been playing in the Eberron campaign setting since like around 2005, something like that. And but I haven't created an adventure yet for Eberron or for 5th edition. So this is the time and the place to do both of those. So what you're looking at here to cover, it's called Crystals of Mabar. It's an adventure in the Carnwood of Carnath on the nation of Corvair in the campaign setting of Eberron. It's for 7th and 8th level characters. Basically, Emerald Claw cultists are attempting to create an artificial manifest zone that connects to the plane of Mabar, which is the plane of darkness, undeath, and things that go bump in the night. Like, subscribe, bell icon, notifications, what's up? And so your team shows up to stop the cultists, shut down the manifest zone, and there's a bunch of villages nearby, so save them from destruction. That's the gist of it, and we've been building all the maps and assets, like the creature and NPC tokens, and all the little fiddly bits that get dropped into a folder. Dum dum dum. Let's see, Night Blooms was the name of the little black seed daffodils that manifest from the soil. As I've talked about before, so I'll just mention it again. Hold on, let's go with what were they? Death Blooms. You know what? I can't, for the life of me, I can't remember what the hell they're called. Open. No, that's not. Yeah, let's do it that way. Open. And let's see. Crystals in a bar. Artwork. Trash acts. Creatures cover. Creatures and characters. Eberron, chart region map. Nope. Blank page, doors and things. Grid. Handouts? Nope, it's not in there yet. Where are you at? Flora. Duh. Vulpina. Plague Moss. Florets. There they are. The florets. Beer. Little daffodils. Little black seed daffodils. Florets. And then ferric ivy. I think we ended up calling these yellow caps instead of emerald tops. Emerald caps. Okay. Florets. That's what they call it. Florets of Mabar. Thank you. Save equals no. So now that we remember our language, let's create our little florets. Huh, interesting. It's not what I want. What am I trying to achieve here? Something happened with my settings. Oh, that's what I was trying to do. I was trying to think of an asterisk. I could potentially go with this. I mean, it's pretty simple. Boop, boop. I was going to afford to do it this way. Stipple dot, Vulpina, florets, emerald tops. Yeah, I mean that's ridiculously simple, but it's the proper it's the proper thing to do. There we go. So looks like, oh, and Razorvine. Razorvine's the last thing I need to work on. We can. Group, ungroup, there we go. And then let's go back to I don't know why I was calling them yellow caps. Plague Moss. It's just something got reversed on the button settings of my Wacom. The back button here, the top button used to be the right click, but for some reason right now the forward button is the right click, so it makes me continuously miscue. Hey Chronix, how you doing? Not sure. This is just different little patterns. So each of these is a different type of flora that fills terrain. Something, my guy. So the emerald tops, these are mushrooms, plague moss. It's just like, it's like peat, like loam. The Vulpina Lotharia. This releases a. This is actually the one that's this and the Razorvine are the ones that are dangerous. I haven't done Razorvine yet, but this, if you step into this space, it has a stinking cloud effect, as per the spell. So if you're in that space, you have to make a Constitution save. If you traverse that space or end up being pushed into a space, if you move into or begin your turn in the space of the Vulpina Lotharia, it forces a Constitution saving throw DC 13 that if you fail, it eats your it forces you to use your action to choke and throw up, and then you have your bonus action and your move to get out of the area. So it's a little hard to watch you live with working on. Oh, that's you don't owe me anything, my guy. It's I appreciate that you want to be around. Thanks. that you would want to continue showing up over and over again is a kindness. So thanks for being around. I think I can use this for razor wire, razor vine. Here we go. Let's do that. Razor vine grows from bones. In the manifest zone, anything that's dead is animated and becomes sentient upon its own accord. But once an undead is dead, then it doesn't get back up again. And that's when razor vine starts to grow from its corpse. I think I can remove that. It's a hazard. It's just a hazard condition. It's as strong as iron. So the stuff is great. It can if you allow it to cultivate, you end up getting like this barbed wire sort of stuff that can be used to like make steel like twine. So it has its own industrial purpose, which is kind of the point of all this for the Emerald Claw. Beyond the ability to create undead with the natural innate powers of the Mabar and Manifest Zone, but it also has so many exotic plants that grow in the Manifest Zone that it's a capitalist opportunity to corner the market on unique materials that all have different alchemical properties that can be cultivated for various purposes, like the mushrooms. If you use alchemical formula, it creates an oil that if you wipe it on your eye, you gain night vision, or it'll double the night vision that you already have. It's relatively, it's like it ends up being like profitable at selling for 30 gold pieces. So it's actually a decent little racket to grow these mushrooms by the acre, and then to cultivate them so that you can create this potion. And let's see, the blood moss. If I recall correctly, the blood moss creates an antitoxin that you can use to neutralize poison. So it's like kind of like a medicine kit. The Tharia can be you can make a poison out of it. A lot of neat different stuff. But it's all useful material. There's like antitoxin, night vision, poison, steel light, iron, iron like strength in this. It's like what's the word I'm looking for? Well, I don't know what I'm trying to say. Don't mind me, I'm a little strung out. I'm tired. I didn't get good sleep last night. But no one cares about that. Let's see. Yeah, that's good. So these are the 5 different types of plants to deal with. The florets, they don't really do anything other than get picked up by wind and blown around, and wherever the florets land, they plant, they take root and then start terraforming the environment around them. So it just basically spreads this necrotic environment. It gets blown. All the spores and stuff carry on the wind, and wherever they land, they start to expand. That's how the manifest zone is partially expanding, because these plants keep creeping further and further into the woods. But there's the 5 of those. So that is, we'll call that razor vine, and then we'll figure out the color on these things next. But we're almost at the place where we get to do that. I'm going to take the flora, because these will end up being separate icons that that a DM can just drop onto, like anytime you do like a random map for an encounter or something, the DM can just take any amount of these tokens and just just drop them onto the page. So if you go into this space, you'll take D6 slashing damage. Go into this space, you'll have to make a saving throw. These don't do anything nefarious if you step into them. And then the other thing that we have is, hold on, one last thing, which we've seen an abundance of crystals. Let's go down and grab our crystals, which is our pixel brush, crystals. So the crystals is just what the dirt gets changed into this coffee grind type texture, and that's what this token represents here. This terrain token. So yeah, that's the word I was looking for. Terrain token. We've effectively just created a bunch of black and white terrain tokens. So when we actually build the PDF to include with the when we make the PDF, we have the zip file that gets attached to it. So when you buy it on the DMsGuild, you get the PDF and you get the download file. And so we'll have like a page, like a 8.5 by 11 page. So it'd be like 7 by 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we could have like 6 by 10. It'd be, going down the page. We would have 10 tokens. It'd just be duplicating token. But if you're using this at your actual tabletop, you can just print out that sheet and then cut out the different terrain tiles. So you have 10 florets, 10 emerald tops, 10 plague moss, 10 crystal grit, 10 razor vine, 10 Litharia vulpina, that you'll have abundance of. So every time you lay down a map, you can just litter this stuff. It's like just throw and litter the board with a bunch of little tokens. It's like, okay, well, don't step into that area because apparently there's a bunch of razor vine in that area. So you can randomize your terrain and create different hostilities. So aside from what the default ground of the map will be, so that's how that works. So we'll go with flora and terrain tokens there. So that finishes those up. Nice. And here is the stonework for the area that we're currently building. This fits on an 11 by 17 page. This fits on an 11 by 17 page, and this fits on an 11 by 17 page. So I can, let's see, drop down. Inside. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So on an 11 by 17 legal sheet, you have an active area of 10 by 16. So this is 10 tall, and if we have a 1-inch gap, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Perfect. So I can, when we build our asset bundle, this would be this by itself would be a single page, and you can see the border here. There, that's a 10 by 15 square space. So at the one at scale, this would fit on an 11 by 17 map, an 11 by 17 legal sheet. So a lot of this document. Wait a second. How did I get into a gray tone like that? I didn't screw something up, did I? Chice. Let's go with, I screwed something up. Florets go away at the top. Wow, somehow I got myself using gray tone. So let's do that. Good. We just got to fix this real quick. Like that. And the florets. Blackened in the end. There. Okay, that's good. So let's scooch you over. Now we're back on track. Dot. And da-dun, da-dun. Top side. Inside. Profile view. Don't need that anymore. I feel like I'm missing something. That's what I'm missing. Let's grab this and bring it back down to where it's supposed to be. This is puddles. So right now we're making water puddles. Of course. Build these things out right. These are also just add-ons. We're making little puddles, basically. Flooded sinkholes or like giant mud. Yeah, puddles. It's just puddles. You know what a puddle is. We all know what puddles are. There, so now we can puddles. I'll drop this one down like that and here. Now we can go back to 3 pixels. I don't have to be perfect here. Just tracing over. Just want to have a number of, these will be water-filled puddles, which act as difficult terrain to traverse and can have things like undead laying in them that will rise up when someone comes near. Can have colonies of Lotharia or emerald tops growing out of it. There's one. So we'll build a few of these little, again, these are like little map vignettes that the DM can just throw down. Like, oh, you encounter some ghouls. Well, let's just throw down some puddles and some terrain and have at it. There. Boop, boop, boop. 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 So, nothing. I can get rid of that. I'm going to crack open the region 1, region 2. I'm going to crack this open real quick. There. Yeah, it's 3 and 2, and then these are also 2. I don't know how you stop doing that. There you go. Cool. So we use the same language for this little puddle. So we have three. We have a 3-line weight as the exterior point at the top of the ridge, and then we're using 2-line weight for the elevation lines and the water line. Those are 3 pixels, 2 pixels. So we'll stick with that. And you can see, like, we can use this color for our natural soil, and then we can use the here's all the little penis, all the crystal grit, the tile color. So all the language that we need for the things that we're working on right now already exists on side this map, so I can just color reference and pull them. We'll make little water effects, but the black and white doesn't need it. So what we do have confirmation for is that we should be using a 2-pixel line here. It'd be something like this. This needs to be a little bit more smooth and fluidy because, you know, water's smooth and fluidy. So I want to have a more natural, a little less chop. Come on, bug. There we go. And we'll put in another layer. Actually, what I want to do is go over this one more time. I'm going to drop that opacity down here, grab a 3 pixel line weight, and just make sure I like how this is sitting. Be a little bit more jagged. When I'm doing these outlines, I'm moving my my elbow and my shoulder without moving my wrist. That's how I did the interior. The exterior here, which is looking a lot more jagged and rough, while I was moving my elbow and my shoulder, I was also jigging my wrist back and forth. So it would create these little hiccup, jaggedy effects. Smooth interior is wrist and shoulder movement only. Exterior is wrist and shoulder movement with the left jaggedy component. It helps diversify the type of line language so that you can help distinguish one form from another. I think I'm gonna float over here and work on this one instead. I don't want to overdo it. Like that kind of jag is too sharp. Too sharp. A lot of the art that I do is through the wrist, because a lot of times I anchor because I use a Wacom tablet, and I have my key. So I have my Wacom. I have the edge of the. I have the edge of my desk. I don't see good, right? I'm fucking blind. So if this is my desk, which is basically 3 by 2 by 4. This is basically 2 by 4. I've got my Wacom tablet that sits here, and touching that is my keyboard. My mouse hangs out here. My coffee mug hangs out over here. My my little pen holder is here, and my speaker is here. And I have another speaker here, and my monitor stand is here, but it's a 32-inch monitor, so it basically goes across like this. Over my speakers and over my pen cup. And then, actually this is a little off, but you'll get the gist. And then I have basically a stand that I put my camera on, and it looks this way. So here's my camera and my monitor and my keyboard, and my Wacom tablet goes underneath my keyboard. So I've got all my wires that go down here, and then I've got this wire that goes down here. My CPU is underneath my computer next to my power source, and then my camera. If I'm sitting here, then my microphone hangs out here on a boom. It hooks like this, and then the boom comes back to here, and I've got basically a bookshelf here that's anchored behind the desk and the wall, like that. So this little book stand thing that I have basically is braced between the desk and the wall, and the boom arm of my microphone is basically clipped to the end of this bookshelf here. This is where my microphone connects here, squiggly, squiggly, and it goes down to the floor as well. So that's my setup. It all sits inside of basically like a 5x5 space, essentially. There, share. That's my setup. It all exists inside of this little box. So when I'm drawing, most of the time, my elbow is here, and my arm is leveraging off the edge of the desk here. So when I'm drawing, most of the movement is coming from my wrist. Like when I'm doing micro detail and stuff like that, when I'm doing this, it's almost 100% out of my wrist. But when I want to pan out and do these different long form line effects, I'll specifically raise my arm up off of my desk so that I can free float with my elbow and my shoulder without moving the wrist's position at all. So that's kind of, not that anyone asked, but that's my arrangement. That's my setup. For some reason, I feel compelled to keep that. There, desk setup, garbage. Let's see. Let's get back to the point of why we're here. Yeah, edge. So we got one more to do. So I'll have to fix that. So 38. Okay, so I've got 20 minutes today. Now, I'm going to be back at lunchtime today. I have started. I keep picking away at different little pieces of stuff without specifically finishing something before starting something else. So we've got I'm working on another Spelljammer project. Very slowly picking at it. The time that I spend off screen is on Eberron to continue this project to get it finished. But during my different stream events at lunchtime and in the evenings, so I stream at night on Mondays and Thursdays, and I stream at lunchtime at my lunch break. I stream typically on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. And so those the Monday through Friday, like this in the morning, I work on Eberron stuff off screen. Whenever I can make time, I work on Eberron stuff. And during the week, at lunch, in the evening and online, evening at lunchtime, I can do anything I want. But I only work on those projects during the live stream, so they move very, very slowly. So I have the Vokath Battle Crab encounter for Spelljammer Latizaraxis that I'm working on. I've got the Warforged and Machines supplement to create mecha and Escaflowne type Gundam power armor for Spelljammer, and the Martial Power System, which we were doing some playtesting, and now we are revising how a number of the powers work so they have better value for their cost. And not to overcomplicate things, but now I also have the urge to create Spelljammer subclasses that lean into the mechanics that we introduced in the Spelljammer supplement that I published. Spelljammer's Combat and Exploration, which is linked down below. So I'm in the process of building 13 subclasses, one for each class, that utilize the Spelljammer mechanics that I created for that document, that I can bundle in with the core book. So there's Warforged Machines, there's Vokath Battle Crab, and there's the Book of Subclasses. I may end up just publishing the subclasses on my Patreon. I'm not sure. I'm still sussing that out. I want to add more stuff to bundle in with the Spelljammer book so that I can gain more value basically from it. So those, like, there's a bunch of different ships and stuff that I still want to build, but I keep picking away at stuff one at a time. So at lunch today, we'll be working on Spelljammer subclasses. On Friday, we'll be working on martial powers again. My playtest is down this weekend, so but I believe I'll be working on some editing direction with Stuart for this adventure. Stuart Bros is my editor. He's a hell of an editor. Feels a little jagged still, but I kind of like it overall. Okay, that should be good. Get rid of that now. That feels pretty good. Where do we go from here, huh? Next is the elevation contour lines. I'm just checking the perimeter on all of these to make sure I like how they sit. That all feels good. Cool. So now we'll add elevation contour, and that's a 2-point line. So let's just take this and flow down like that. that one. Let's go back to here. That feels good. There. Now we have our edge, and then contour lines down into the smoother water line. And this should all be flush. Good. There. Clean up that edge, and we'll get back into it. There. Here. Here. That. Like that. Ooh, and here. I like that. Then here, where these ridges are poking into the space generally tends to be where the contour lines go. So it's pretty self-guided. Here. Then it bulges out, so I'm going to work with that bulge. And we'll clean up inside there to make it flush. Just like that. I really like the visual language that we've created with these maps. I would happily sustain, like, just keep this as my general format language of things. Really, really like it. There. more. Not too much. Let's go with here and here and nope. Here. Nope. That feels good. Here. Here and like that. That's too broad. Here. That seems appropriate. We can do like that. Take this jag in here like that. And this one like that. And here. So that should do. Let's see if everything looks pretty. More like that. That feels better. Looks like we're going to get these contours done and then that'll be our day. I think we're running very, very short on time, but I'm just going to stay focused on the work instead of distracting myself by looking at the clock to confirm how little time I actually have left. I'm sure it's very little. Yeah, good. And now we'll clean up the exterior. Got some grid on my screen I keep thinking is artifacts. Cool. All right. How much time do we have? Yep, 750 something. All right. So these little pieces here, like this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So this is a 9 by 11 piece. It's technically 7 by 9 if I were just to hug the borders. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 6 by 10. And this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 by 4. So I can fit this, and this together onto a single page. I could probably jam another one as well. Just making little pockets. So that can just be thrown down anywhere you want, just to make little piles of puddle. It's difficult terrain to move through there. And when we do the coloration, this will be filled with water as well. But this is the general setup that we have, minus the... That's my puddles. So that's the general setup for this top side map. Interior, drop down. So that means we're technically done with the line work for this. So awesome. When we come back tomorrow morning, we'll officially start color on this. So, and then once we have this finished, we have the little shapes that we're figuring out. I'm gonna just grab those. Let's move them to another location. Be safe and secure. Hit the save button. Yeah, that's where we're at today. So far so good, guys. Let's see. So I'll be back today for lunch to start working. I've already done a few of the subclasses, which is what inspired me to do the project. I already have the Artificer, Bard, and I believe Barbarian done, which means we still have 10 to go. And it's 8 o'clock here, so I'll probably be back maybe in 4 hours, 4.5 hours, something like that. 4.5 hours sounds right. So it'll be 12:30 here in Seattle till 1:30. That'll be my lunch, and then I'll bounce out of here, and then I'll be back tomorrow morning, 22 and a half hours from now, something like that. Yeah, so we'll start coloring. All right, that's it for now, guys. Thanks a lot. Chronics, thanks for hanging out. Anyone else that's here in the future, like, subscribe. If you like the stuff that I'm doing, honestly, the best way to help me is to check out the books down below. They all have free previews. If you check them out, if you like any of them, and you want to see me do more stuff, the best way to encourage me to make more books is to buy the books that you can already see. So buy a book, leave a high, like, if it's not worth it, leave a 4.5 or 5 stars when you flip through it. Don't bother. If it's not worth it to you, then don't buy it, of course. But if you'd say it's 4.5 or 5 stars, pick it up and then leave a review. And thank you. Hopefully I'll see you on the Discord. You can check out my Patreon down below. I'll be back in a while. Thanks a lot, guys.